I never meant to record anything. I wasn't spying, snooping, or trying to catch anyone doing something wrong. It was just a glitch, a mistap on my phone one afternoon when I was trying to sync a work call and accidentally hit the record button. The phone was lying face down on the kitchen table. I didn't even realize it was recording until hours later. But that one mistake, one single, accidental voice memo would shatter everything I thought I knew about my wife's family. And nearly destroyed my marriage. My name is Mark. And until that day, I thought I had the perfect life. My wife, Emily, and I had been married for 3 years. We had a modest little house in Oregon, 2 adopted rescue dogs, and what I thought was a rock-solid relationship. I'm a freelance web developer. She's a school counselor. We split our days between work, hiking trails, and low-key dinners at home. The only complication in our lives was her mother, Linda. Now, when I say Linda was a lot, I mean she was the kind of woman who could smile sweetly to your face while silently judging you from head to toe. Passive-aggressive comments were her native language. "Oh, you're wearing that to dinner, how brave. Still freelancing, I guess that works for some people." I tried to brush it off at first. She's just protective of Emily, I told myself. She just has trouble letting go. But something always felt off. She'd show up unannounced. Invite herself to stay just a few days and linger for weeks. She once rearranged our living room while we were at work. I came home to a sticky note on my desk that read, "This room could use a woman's touch." Emily always told me to let it go. She doesn't mean anything by it, she'd say. She's just old-fashioned. But I could feel Linda digging her claws into our life. Still, nothing prepared me for what I heard on that recording. That day, Linda had come over while Emily was out getting groceries. I was upstairs in my office working, unaware that my phone downstairs was recording everything. Later that night, when I finally opened the memo file just curious what the weird 1-hour recording was, I expected background noise. Maybe the dogs barking. Instead, I heard Linda's voice. Clear. Close. Like she was standing right next to the phone. "He's too comfortable," she said. "Mark doesn't know his place. Emily needs someone with ambition. Someone respectable. Not some man-child who hides behind a computer." I froze. Her voice, it was like venom wrapped in velvet. Then came a second voice. A younger one. It was Sarah, Emily's cousin. "So what are you going to do?" Sarah asked. "I'm working on it," Linda said calmly. "I've already spoken to that lawyer friend of mine. If we can prove Mark's been mismanaging money or worse, cheating, then Emily can walk away clean. No alimony. No complications." "Isn't that a bit extreme?" Sarah said nervously. "Not when it's for her own good," Linda snapped. "I've already planted a few things. Just wait. Give it a couple of months." I couldn't breathe. I listened to the whole recording 3 times. Heart pounding. Skin cold. They were plotting against me. Framing me. My mother-in-law was trying to destroy me from the inside out. And Emily, my wife, had no idea. At least, I hoped she didn't. But suddenly, I wasn't so sure anymore. That night, I didn't say a word. I ate dinner like normal. Kissed my wife goodnight. And lay awake in the dark, staring at the ceiling, replaying every interaction I'd ever had with Linda. Every fake smile. Every little jab I'd brushed off. I needed to know how deep this went. I needed to know, if Emily was part of it. Over the next few days, I got paranoid, but I got smart. I copied the recording, put it on a flash drive, uploaded it to a secure cloud folder no one could access but me. Then I started digging. Our emails, bank statements, shared folders. And that's when I found it. An email from Emily to her mom, hidden in a weird folder labeled School Docs. The subject line made my stomach turn. I don't know if I can keep pretending. I clicked it open. The message read, "Mom, I'm trying. But I don't know how much longer I can fake being okay with Mark. I don't want to be cruel, but I also don't want to waste another year. You said you had a plan. What's the next step?" I closed the laptop. My hands were shaking. Everything, our marriage, our laughs, our future, it all felt fake. Was she pretending the whole time, or had Linda poisoned her? I didn't know. But I knew one thing for sure, I was being set up. And the woman I loved was either a victim, or a partner in crime. I didn't confront Emily. Not yet. I needed more than one email. If I came at her with accusations and she was innocent, I'd ruin everything. But if she wasn't innocent, if she really was working with her mother, then I needed to be smart, careful, strategic. So I started watching her. Not in a creepy, stalker way. Just, closely. Her phone habits. Her mood. How she responded when Linda called. And I noticed something strange. Every time she spoke with her mom on the phone, she would go out on the porch, close the sliding glass door behind her. And when she came back in, she'd always change the subject if I asked what they talked about. It was just Mom, she'd say. She's being dramatic again. One night, I peeked through the blinds while she was out there. She wasn't just talking, she was whispering. Looking over her shoulder like she thought I was the one hiding something. That's when I knew, I needed proof. Real proof. So I set up a trap. I waited until the next time Linda came over. This time, I left my phone intentionally recording on the kitchen table. I made sure the screen was dark and the phone looked off. Then I told Emily I was heading to the hardware store. Just a normal Saturday. But I didn't go far. I parked 2 blocks down and walked back quietly, cutting through the neighbors' yards. I slipped in through the back gate, crouched beneath the open window, and listened. And what I heard made my blood run cold. "He's starting to suspect," Emily whispered. "How do you know?" Linda asked. "He's been acting different. Quiet. Distant. He keeps asking weird questions about money." "Then we move faster," Linda replied. "Did you get the documents I left?" "Yes. I put them in his desk drawer like you said." "Perfect. When the audit comes, it'll look like he was hiding it." "And the anonymous tip?" "Well, that goes out Monday." I nearly threw up right there in the bushes. They were framing me for financial fraud. Fake documents. Anonymous tips. They weren't just trying to push me out, they were trying to ruin me. I backed away, heart pounding. Made it back to my car without them noticing. When I got home an hour later, I pretended everything was fine. Dinner. TV. Small talk. But in my head, I was burning. The next morning, I checked the drawer she mentioned. Sure enough, inside were 3 manila folders that hadn't been there before. They were filled with fake invoices. Altered screenshots. Bank statements that had been tampered with. I recognized one. It was from a client I hadn't worked with in 2 years. But the numbers had been doctored to make it look like I'd been funneling money into a fake account. It was detailed, meticulous, and completely false. That was the moment I knew, I couldn't just defend myself. I had to expose them. So I came up with a plan. A reversal. A setup for the setup. Over the next few days, I created my own little web. I made a fake email account. Pretended to be the lawyer friend Linda had mentioned. I sent her an email that said, "He's caught on. Recommend delaying the tip-off and finding a new approach." Then I waited. Within 12 hours, Linda responded, "Understood. We'll let him simmer a bit. I'll have Emily cool things off at home." I almost laughed. She really believed it? And now I had her in writing confirming the whole scheme. But I wasn't done. I needed to know just how deep Emily's role was in all of this. So I took the risk. That night, while she was in the shower, I opened her laptop. Checked her message drafts. And found something I wasn't prepared for. A message to Linda. Unsent. Titled, "I can't do this." The message read, "Mom, I didn't sign up for this. I hate lying to him. He's never done anything to deserve this. I wanted out of the marriage, yes, but not like this. Not like you. I'm deleting everything. Don't contact me again." I sat back, stunned. She hadn't sent it? But she wrote it? She was conflicted. Maybe even on the edge of backing out. And in that moment, I realized I had a choice. I could burn it all down now, take the recording, the emails, the planted documents, and go nuclear. Or I could give her one last chance to tell me the truth. Face to face. So I waited, and when she came out of the shower, wrapped in a towel, I asked her calmly, "Emily, can we talk?" She looked surprised. Then cautious. "Sure. What's going on?" I sat her down. Took a breath. And said, "I know. About your mom. About the fake documents. About the emails. I've heard the recordings. I've seen everything." Her face went pale. Her lips parted, but no words came out. And in that terrifying, frozen silence I saw the truth in her eyes. She knew. And she was sorry. But was that enough? She sat there in silence for what felt like forever. No excuses. No denial. Just tears. They welled up slowly, then spilled down her cheeks like a dam finally breaking. "I didn't want it to go this far," she whispered. "Then why didn't you stop her?" I asked. My voice was shaking, not with anger, with heartbreak. "I tried," she said, sobbing now. "That draft, you read it, didn't you?" "I was going to send it." "But you didn't," I said quietly. And that silence almost ruined me. She buried her face in her hands. "She manipulated me, Mark. Ever since we got married. She kept saying you were holding me back. That I could have more. Be more. And when we had that rough patch last year, she saw her chance. I was so angry and confused, and she pushed. I didn't respond. I just stared. Trying to decide whether to believe her or walk away. "She forged most of the documents herself," Emily said through tears. "She used your old client info and made it look like you were running money through shell accounts. I only agreed to keep them because I was scared of her. And of what I'd become." "But you knew," I said. You knew and said nothing. I was going to tell you. I was. But I thought, if I told you, you'd never forgive me. And maybe you still want to. She wasn't wrong. I didn't know if I could. But I knew one thing, Linda had gone too far. And Emily, maybe she had, too. But at least she wasn't the one pulling all the strings. I stood up, walked over to the kitchen drawer, and pulled out the flash drive with all the recordings and emails. I placed it gently on the table in front of her. This goes to the police on Monday, I said. Unless you help me fix this. She looked up, eyes wide. What do you mean? I want you to call your mother. Tonight. I want you to tell her the plan is off. That you're out. And I'll be recording that call. Then I want you to help me gather every piece of fake evidence she's planted. Every trace. We'll build a case together. You and me. And then what? Then, I said, we take her down. She hesitated. But then she nodded. Okay, she said. I'll do it. That night, she called Linda. I hid my phone behind the lamp and hit record. Mom, Emily said, her voice trembling, it's over. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not ruining someone's life just because you think he's not good enough for me. You need to stop or I will. There was a long pause on the line, then Linda's voice, sharp and venomous, you think he'll forgive you after what you've done? That's between me and him, Emily replied. You ungrateful little girl, Linda snapped. I gave you everything. I protected you. And now you're throwing it away for him. No, Emily said quietly. I'm saving myself from becoming you. Click. She ended the call. And for the first time in years, she looked free. Over the next 3 days, we gathered everything. Emails. Fake invoices. Text messages. I even found the folder Linda had hidden in our attic during one of her surprise visits. She had planted it behind a loose panel filled with papers meant to incriminate me. When we had everything, we drove to the police station. I let Emily hand it over. Let her tell them everything. And as the detective listened, nodding slowly, I realized something, this wasn't just about betrayal. It was about control. About how far someone would go to mold their child's life. And how hard it was to break free from that grip. The case is still pending. Linda lawyered up, of course. But she's facing charges for forgery, fraud, conspiracy, and if the pushes hard enough, possibly criminal harassment. Emily and I were in therapy. Every week. Trying to rebuild what she almost helped destroy. It's not easy. Trust isn't a switch you can flip back on. But she shows up. Every time. And for now, that's enough. Sometimes I still think about that first recording, how a single tap on my phone exposed a storm beneath the surface. How close I came to losing everything. Or worse, going to prison for something I didn't do. But then I look at Emily. The guilt in her eyes. The effort in her voice. The way she holds my hand like she's terrified I'll let go. And I think, maybe we'll make it through. Maybe.